107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
50 Cent doing the bankruptcy boogaloo. Trying to get out of paying $5 million. Do you think that's what this is?
Well, I think he's doing a little bankruptcy shuffle to preserve his assets. And I think his assets are threatened by both the $5 million judgment. I think there's another judgment floating around that he's concerned about. And so I don't think that he's broke, but I think that reorganization, which is what he has filed for, allows him to continue to keep his assets.
Right.
Not all of them. He's going to have to make some payment arrangements.
Oh, because I was going to ask, does that mean he doesn't have to pay her?
No, he has to.
He still got to pay her.
Reorganize. They'll arrange payments plans for all of his creditors.
Okay.
And she is one of the creditors.
Okay.
And so it's up to the judge to accept the payment plan that he and his lawyers propose. Okay. And they'll take a good look and see whether there's any funny business going on. There is such thing as bankruptcy fraud. And there's severe penalties for that. Just like there's such a thing, brothers, as divorce. When you divorce and try and hide your assets, those penalties are very severe.
Really?
Oh yeah, you can't play with the court and hide your assets and lie and say you don't have anything, and they find out you do. That's a big problem. But I don't think that's the case with him, and I hope it isn't the case. I think, like he says, he has some very smart lawyers, and it might be a smart move for him to approach it in this way. As he says, a lot of businessmen do it. But this is personal because his debts are personal. Right. This isn't business bankruptcy, I wouldn't think, because the claim that the litigant won, the plaintiff won, was a personal claim against him, not against his company.
Right. Well, I wouldn't think so because he was just on the Forbes top 5 richest rappers.
What was that?
That was just a couple of
Okay,
weeks
I didn't
ago.
know that. I didn't know that.
No, like not that long ago. He was in the top 5. It was this year.
I didn't know that. He's saying now, however, that I think he's worth between 10 and 20 million. I think he's claiming has between 10 and 20 million in debts. And what I'm suggesting is that I don't think he would lie in bankruptcy court. I think his lawyers have advised him the severity of that. And so we never know what those publications mean. I think we saw recently that he has said in court that many of the assets that we see him flashing are rented. That was one of the things he stated in court the other day. And I just don't think he'd lie in court like that. I think he's a smart young man. I find him to be smart. I always have admired him as a smart man from the streets that knew how to come up and stay straight financially and within the law. So I don't think that he would be lying in court regarding his worth.
Okay, Judge. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson ranks number 4 on this year's Forbes 5 A-list of the wealthiest hip-hop artists that appeared in the May 25th, 2015 issue of Forbes magazine.
All I can tell you is I wish I had the money they claim I have, not Forbes, but other publications. I wish I had the money that they say I have.
Okay.
I wish I made the amount of money per year that they say I make.
Okay.
I would then, perhaps if folks knew that I didn't make that much, the requests for loans and gifts would go down. But I'm not telling folks how much I make.
So you're saying that this could not be true?
All I can tell you is that publications sometimes
exaggerate,
are inaccurate. They're just inaccurate.
Right.
I think we saw with Donald Trump after analyzing his, he had claimed that he was worth $10 billion. Mm-hmm. Well, after analyzing the papers that he submitted, the finance papers that he submitted for his candidacy, one determined that he was worth $1.4 billion. which is 10% of what he claimed he was
Right.
worth. So, you can throw numbers out there. You hear folks claiming they're billionaires. I
Right.
know folks who are listed as billionaires, and it's not true.
Right.
There's only 2 African-American billionaires in the United States that I am sure is the case, Oprah
Right.
Winfrey and Bob Johnson.
Right.
But you hear a lot of black folks saying they're billionaires, and that's not true.